Mr. Newmoff.
Here.
Ms. Kalinowski.
Here.
Mr. Bush.
Here.
Vice President Darrow is absent. President McClelland.
Here. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For tonight's agenda, do we have any additions or corrections to the agenda tonight?
Board of Education members, we have an addendum agenda that's been presented to you for tonight's meeting as well.
With that addition, could I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Bush, Mr. Newmoff, roll call, please.
Mr. Bush.
Yes.
Mr. Newmoff.
Yes.
Ms. Kalinowski.
Yes.
President McClelland.
Yes. That takes us into our discussion items and board policy.
Thank you, President McClellan. Board of Education members, this evening presented for you our board policies related to changes in Ohio Revised Code, federal board policy, or federal policy that impact Board of Education policy. There are 3 new policies that were presented in the regular agenda. 3 of them overlap for whistleblower protection, specifically under federal statute. There was a revision to health services, a new policy related to the authorization to accept and distribute electronic records and to use electronic signatures, and then 2 revisions to 2 other policies related to ceremonies and or anti-fraud. Then in addition, on the addendum agenda, based upon my notification to you this afternoon, we received information from the Ohio Department of Education as part of the food service audit. For procurement purposes for purchasing, there's specific language they would like added to ensure that there's non-discriminatory practice associated to procurement for public bid that's currently not incorporated into Board of Education policy, and that by effectuating said policy prior to April 30th, it will not be part of the findings related to the audit for food services. So that too is presented this evening for action. To the Board of Education specifically so that we can meet the April 30th deadline necessary for the department and the audit finding. Any questions related to board policy?
Okay, with no questions, we'll move on to communications to the board.
We'd like to recognize Mr. Wieldenhouse, the athletic director from Albany High School, who is here to talk about our state champions. Mr. Wieldenhouse.
Thank you very much and good evening. It's another exciting moment for me to stand here as the athletic director for our school and recognize outstanding student achievement in the world of athletics. So I'm not going to speak too much about the girls because I'm going to allow the guys that know them best speak about them. But for those of you who haven't been to the state swim meet, and my understanding is probably most of you have not been to the state swim meet, but it's held in Canton at the Brandon Natatorium, kind of in the shadows of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And it really is an unbelievable event. It's one of my favorite events of the year. That and state track meet, they really rival each other as outstanding events. And watching our state's finest swimming athletes and diving athletes compete at the highest level is an outstanding experience. The noise is deafening in that natatorium, and there was a significant cheering section rooting not only these girls here on, but our entire team. And we took a large team to Canton to compete in the state championships, and they did extremely well and represented our school and our school district and our community at a high level as well. So I would like to take the opportunity to introduce Dave Wharton and John Kaufman as our coaches to come up and speak a little bit about our team.
Thank you for allowing us to come tonight. It's first I want to thank Richie and the administration at the high school and all of you as well for your support. If you look up in the stands, as to Richie's point at the state meet, it is very hard to find anybody because it's 4,000 people crammed into stadium seating around 3 sides of a pool. So it's very intense, but it's very exciting. The environment is top notch, and Ohio State meet is considered one of the fastest state competitions for swimming and diving across the country. So it is pretty exciting. But I wanted to thank Richie for coming up, because if you look up, you do not see athletic directors and administrators attending the state meet very much. So we really do appreciate that support. The girls did a fantastic job. It was a very exciting race to come out in the front. We have a very young squad. So we've got Lexi Elkovich, Ava Lachey, Olivia Haborka and Mia Lachey. We've got 2 freshmen on the relay, and all the girls are returning, so no seniors on the relay. So we're very excited about what the future has for us even going forward. We've got an exciting young class coming up from the 8th grade into 9th grade, which will be exciting. So the team was undefeated all year. We were league conference champions, and they finished up at the state meet as 7th place overall, the team. So we rewrote the record board. On the girls' side, we had 8 new records out of what was up on the board, so rewriting it. And to qualify as one of those some of those relays, like we rewrote all three relays. We qualified to be All-American, which is a status that qualifies across the country. So when you submit this, you're now in the top 100 across the country. To break one of our school records has to be that. So the girls are doing a fantastic job of not only representing in the state, but also across the country, which is exciting. And we're also doing that on the academic side. I submitted our team's GPA on the girls' side, and it was a 3.81, which qualified them for the gold status as All-American academically across the country. So the team as a whole and these girls are really doing a fantastic job, and we're very proud of them.
Second.
So, board members, if you want to get up, and ladies, I'd like to invite you up so we can all take a picture. We want to, take advantage of your success and show it to everybody. So, Lexi, Olivia, yeah, we'll come around. And then Mia, Ava, then we'll come around and take a picture. Good.
Escape, ladies. This is your chance. Thank you all. Congratulations.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Congratulations.
It's getting quiet.
Public participation next. Guess what, Marlene? Hi, Marlene. It's all good.
It is our opportunity for public participation, but we have no one. So we'll move on. Just can I have a motion for superintendent's items, please?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Kalinowski, Mr. Bush, Mr. Sawyers.
Thank you, President McClellan. Board of Education members, you have standard employment action items presented for you for this evening. For standard things that are happening for school year end, we have had a couple more resignations for the 2018-19 school year. As always, as we get to spring, people start to tell us what they're also doing for the next school year. So we've had a couple leave of absence requests or resignations for 2019-20. And we actually have the first hiring for the 2019-20 on tonight's board agenda to hire the new intervention specialist for the low incident classroom at the high school. That will be in place. So she's on tonight's agenda, and she is the first teacher that we're hiring for the 2019-2020 school year. So we're excited by that. So it's your typical things that start to happen as spring comes to be. Beyond personnel items for letter B this evening for general business, items for the board. We have approval of a senior waiver, student teaching agreement, and then the board resolution specifically for the third grade reading guarantee. So there's an opportunity under state statute that's now required by the Ohio Department of Education that we have to notify them prior to May 1st of what our intent is for testing in third grade specifically for the 2019-2020. And it's the opportunity for students to take the ELA test either through paper, pencil, or electronic. Because we will just start the implementation of iPads in third grade during the 2019-20 school year, beyond just using them on a cart, it is our recommendation that we stick with paper pencil. So it is an option. It was not an option this year. It is an option for next year. So we are doing our best with our students, but we do want paper pencil until we actually help students work on their keyboarding skills and have the ability to respond in text format to the paragraph specific questions that are required in the extended response or the stories for nonfiction and or opinion writing skills. So that's the resolution that's on tonight's agenda for approval. In addition to that, I mentioned board policies, and we're moving forward with the action items specifically to the purchasing and procurement process necessary to meet the ODE audit requirements. So that is the action item specifically on board policy, and it's to add the non-discriminatory clause for equal access for opportunity for procurement, specifically that the department is requesting in the audit. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? With none, could I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Kalinowski?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Mr. Newmoff?
Yes.
President McClelland?
Yes. And that brings us to adjournment. So could I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Mr. Newmoff, Ms. Kalinowski, have a roll call, please.
Mr. Newmoff?
Yes.
Ms. Kalinowski?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Vice President McClelland?
Yes, we are adjourned. Good evening.
So Mike and Paul, we need to try to find a date.
Yes.